What? Ah. All right, we lost now. What's goody? We're good to go. Good to go. All right, we're starting over. We're starting over. Let's go. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dande, aka Hotsoup, and welcome to World Building. No, I really should have called this character design or doodling with Hotsoup, but recently I found myself drumming up story ideas, and I want to know, how do I draw them out? What's a character like in this world? And today, that's what I want to explore. So if you look in the chat, you will see a short synopsis. We can just read it together. In an epic tale, giants that haven't been seen for an eon emerge from the bowels of our planet, set on world domination. They race to beat a rune hunting cowboy to an ancient artifact known as the World Maker. Wild Runes is a story about rune stones, magic, cowboys, and giants. When I think of this, my mind kind of start to buzz, right? Right away, I kind of start thinking like, what are the cowboys going to be like in this world? You know, how they're merged with magic. Are their guns magic? Can their bullets open portals? Are there random rune portals around the world, you know, in key places? Like, you know, runes are stones. Does a cowboy have a stone arm with rune symbols on it? So you kind of let your mind run and you ask yourself these questions. It's a very important design element to help you narrow down what you want to create. So before we start, we can look through the mood board together. You can see my screen. You should be able to see the mood board on the left side. Have some cool poses, gunslinger stuff, one and two magic things, you know. Um, There's more and more cowboy stuff, some actual runes, rune stones, some cool shapes. So usually how I start when I'm going to do something like this, this is actually how what helped me to create the Vox story. Um, what I do is I like to warm up, and instead of warming up with just shapes, I warm up with basically surrounding myself with the theme of whatever I want to draw. And sometimes I'll begin sticking close to the reference because I want to just get in the vibe and work my way there and understand what I'm trying to draw. And then you'll see me as I go along, just further and further and further, get further and further away from the reference. So let me just start gesturing one or two of these. So yeah, as I said, I just stick kind of close to the reference in the beginning. I might like change the shape a little bit, but nothing crazy, just enough for me to understand what I'm doing. Now this guy's in a suit. He's not really a cowboy, but he has a pose. He even has the like a trench coat vibe. And move on from that, you know, one little gesture. Kind of like these. These are pretty cool. I don't really need to see it that big to, though, you know. Like me, I like thumbnailing, so I don't really need to see my reference too big because it's going to bleed too much into what I want to do. I just want a general understanding of the shapes I'm looking at when I'm gesturing. Big shapes, looking at the overall. How do I cowboy this up now? Give him a trench too. Use a belt. Look a holster. All right. Move on to another one. Let's better get these out. This one's simple. Simple, but we'll see what we can do with it in the end. It's just about warming up. Doodling like a little kid, you know? That's where the fun was. Now, if you see what I'm doing here, I call this ugly drawing. Like, get the ugly drawing out. It's like something I noticed when I look at books of Japanese creator artists that I really like, that I look up to. I noticed when I'm looking through some of their books, especially in the early beginnings of some of the shows that they do. A lot of the drawings are so ugly. You know, they just look like it was a little kid doing it. But it's because they just want to get the idea out. That's all. They're like probably at a table and just thinking in drawing. And then after them can go back in and do something cool with it. Kind of long, but I'll just give him a big hat. Why not? Maybe that's a thing in this world. Maybe some people just have some big hats. So I get a couple of these thumbnails out, and then after I go over them, go look at the ones that I really like. Change them up as much as I can. Try to find the magic to go after. I can't forget, like, as what I am drawing cowboys, but I need to remember that magic is involved. So I'm going to have to bring back that charm in the later passes. I'll worry about that. Not too worried about it now. Those are some cool poses. Got that guy with that poncho. Oh yes, it's looking ugly. That's a good sign. You have to get the ugly drawings out there. You have to get them out somehow. And then you just push past them. What time did we start? Just so I know. I know we didn't start directly at one because I'd start over. Just so I know I can keep track of time a little bit. Sir, Mani, you want to tell me what time we started exactly? 50 minutes? All right, 10 minutes. 10 minutes I will have this. That's cool. Let me see what I can do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure that's not a overly used hashtag. Wild ruins. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. So if anybody wants to post whatever they work on, if you're following on YouTube, then just go ahead and hashtag wild runes, and we'll be able to check on it and talk about it. And we want to see the work. Like, how can we bring some magic into this now? You know, I'll be honest, I don't really draw guns often, so I just fake it. I know how to draw a cube. That's that's pretty much all I care about. I don't really worry about all the fandangos. I'll make it up as I go along. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So you don't need to just draw a character actually. You could draw some rune stones. You could draw the environment. Um, I did have one part. Let me see. If you want to know like an idea for the environment, um, so since the giants they come from the center of the earth, I was like, what's it like living in the center of the earth? Is it a green juxtaposition to the desert sands of the Wild Wild West, or is it fiery lava weaving through tunnels of dirt and stone? So you could use that. Like maybe I should copy that and post it in the thing if anybody wants to look at that and draw an environment of that. You can do that because environments have character traits. And it is world building. So draw some assets, draw some stones, whatever you feel like. Draw some armor alone, armor pieces. Just whatever you would like to see in the world, get that idea out. Yeah, we're going massive with the hat still. Mm. So me trying to introduce magic in this, I'm just like, let me draw maybe some vines that are going around him, you know, vines or an octopus. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll figure it out like as I go on. Like I don't really have to worry about it yet. To just, as I said, get the idea out, introduce some magic, introduce some charm. Can't see him feet no more, but no big deal. Save ourselves the trouble of drawing a cowboy boot. Mm. Now when I big this up now, if this is the one I choose, I might not choose this one because I'm gonna go on and mm, draw another one. Big heart again. That's just going to be a thing in this world. Like everywhere you find a little niche, like Kill la Kill have them niche with them jackets and whatever. Like find the niche for your world and just go in on it. So they're cowboys, they have hats. Cool. Why not make them just gaudy, massive? Why not make this gun massive? um, this is the magic. I mean, we're just at cowboys before. Now we've added a little magic, little flair, little charm. That's something I've been thinking about recently. How do I add charm to my work? That's gonna be in more like personality and pose. But right now I think I've figured out a way to at least do that with color and effects. Brings a little charm. Mm. Oh, that's the broski, you know. Yeah. Why I'm there, I'm a watch. Ah, I no lie. Big up, you know. That's the broski. He knows what's good. Hmm. So I don't even know which is gonna be the one I'm gonna choose, you know. I don't know. And you see this guy? I don't know. Like, wait, let me try to change up the shape a little bit. Do something different. Give him a, yeah, you know. I don't have to stick with what I originally did. I can mess with it. But these are gestures at first, right? So let me, like, um, so thumbnailing, concept artists use thumbnailing a lot because they have to draw like 50 characters at a time, you know, just trying to search for the one character. All of these are going to be thrown away. You don't want to be spending too much time on it. So you're drawing it small. You're not blowing it up large. Like that's, you know, that's gonna take you too long. Um, and then another trick too is like when you draw smaller, like you have more control over your brush engine a little bit, just because of the little define differences between you at a 300 DPI versus you at 72 DPI. You're now like, it's going to show you more of your mistakes and your jitter the higher the DPI you go. So keep it small. You don't have to worry about clean lines or anything like that. I'll take these thumbnails, I'll blow it up, and it's going to still just look completely different. We're not done in the end. And you look on it, you'll be like, oh, snap. Didn't expect that. All right, this guy, where's the magic in here? We need to find the magic. I don't know yet. Don't know. But maybe he's charging up before he's taking a shot. Maybe his gun is smoking, you know, some energy weaving off of the gun. Wait, hold on. He is busting a secret. He's busting big, you know, long time story is what he's talking about. A story that I've had for years. Land of wood and water. Honestly don't have any drawings for it. That's how much I got into that story. Was I was so scared to draw anything because I was just so invested in how much I put into the story. But now these days, like with my drawing skills, now I feel like I am ready to do a story like that. Like I did put it off, but now maybe you'll see more of Land of Wood and Water. Yeah, cool little story though. I mean, it's such a cool name too. Draw for Land of Wood and Water. So these are runes, so they need symbols on them. That's for sure. For the sake of time, let me move a little bit faster. Yeah, I don't know if I had to choose one. I don't even know if I need to do this guy right here. This puncher guy, it does look cool. What's that Clint Eastwood movie? Oh yeah. Um, really, they'll come in more into play when I'm drawing out a bit bigger, and I'm like, because these references for me, as much as I am using the poses, what's more important to me is what they're wearing. You know what I mean? I don't draw cowboy stuff all the time, so I need to know like what's the outfit like. Man, them in a vest, them have a belt, them have a satchel, them have, them have all of these little fandangos. So, um, it's the reference is important. It is, but at the same time, like I'll bring it back to it. I'll come back to it in a second, like when I have it look a bigger. Wizard hats. That's interesting. That's an interesting one. Draw it, my G. Don't just tell me draw it. Draw what you want to see in the world. Huh? Oh yeah. Oh, Olive. Oh, because Oliver was saying cowboys should have wizard hats. Yeah, Oliver, draw it. Draw it out. Let me see how it look. Yeah, that's enough for that. Now, I wonder which one the chat would pick. One, if I could. One, two, three, four. Which one them want to see me blow up and at least carry it to color? I like one, I like two. So that's all right. I like two. I had to choose. If I'm being honest, I did a drawing like four already. So I'd rather do something different. Yeah, it's actually okay. Which one has the most? Which one has the most? Three and five. Okay. Um, yeah, Jamal is saying like five personally. Um, five is cool. Five could be a cool one. I can see how I could abuse the wraps that them use and just kind of actually just wrap it with the leather the the gun holster. I'll go with five. I like three, and I'll bring back some of that magic from three. Yeah. So yeah. So all right, before I start, let's look back at it. Yeah, 'cause I mean I know right away with two. I like the I like the shot coming from the gun. I like the look of effects on three. And when you're doing some of these things, these thumbnails, like they're all not final. They're all like crush them up on paper, throw them in the garbage. They're not final. Don't worry about them. You can go back and you can take from one, add it with this, mix match. And if you kept doing that, you could have hundreds of characters if you just kept doing that. It's definitely like a concept art method. I'm gonna make my if I had enough time, like how much time is this? 30 minutes. 5? Okay. Even with this, I'm not going to these are my final lines. This is just me thinking of it like my first pass. So that's why I'm even using a bigger brush. That's the hack, my friend. Sometimes use a bigger brush. Hide the little mistakes. Don't tell nobody. But this way I don't get too drum up in it. You know cool. So we're leaving the ugly drawing phase. We've left it. Say goodbye. I'm gonna keep the feet simple. We don't have time to be focusing on toes. Not right now. Most art is fair. Feet, hands. Only if that's fair, figure out a way around it or practice more. Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Anything at all, it will be relayed to me and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you can, please draw along. As I say, you could draw anything. It could just be a rune stone. It could just be whatever. I don't know what symbols to put on. I'm just like make up some symbols, have fun with it. I don't know what any of those mean, but that's the magic. In fact, this need some symbols on him poncho. Cool. One and two symbol. Later we can make it glow. All right, this guy is looking kind of cool. I won't lie. Yeah. One of the reasons why I choose to go with big hats is because, like, I think he's an artist, Israel, who was talking about when he's animating and he wants to um create elements on a character. He tries to bear in mind that someone is going to, or when he's character designing, sorry, not animating, but he tries to bear in mind that someone is going to animate this object. And I need to make it simple enough for them to understand so that it's not difficult for them. So he makes a lot of objects, he'll make them big, just bigger than usual. And I was like, the right way to that, I was like, yeah, what if that? I'm gonna just start making things a little bit bigger. Like if I have a character and he has even buttons on his shirt, does it have to be 5 buttons going all the way down? No, why can't I just do 2 big buttons? You know? There's little stuff like that you kind of use to vary size in your design. Um, some would say go with the big, medium, small strategy. I haven't gotten that down pat just yet, so I don't too focus on that. But I can see why it would be a good strategy to make sure you have balance in your artwork. I didn't really like this just yet. If I had time, I'll go over it. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if that's a big of a deal. That might just make it look more magical. Yeah. um, yeah, Mane was telling me the sketch underneath is not picking up very well. I'm not too worried about it though. I kind of don't want to look at it that much, you know. So it's just template. Oh, let's go for the good, the bad, and the ugly. Don't know who would know that movie. I mean, if that's the movie, God knows. Clint Eastwood played a lot of cowboys. Yeah, if you don't hear me talking, you guys just ask whatever questions because when I get locked in the drawing, just get kind of quiet because I am in the zone. Yeah, well, feel it. That's what it's about. Tunnel vision it's a real thing and it's a good thing in a sense when you're if you're working on something. It's good to have tunnel vision. That's the flow. Flow state, exactly. Those rooms were cool. They were just lines before, but they got beefed up. Let's go, baby. I don't. I really don't know what shapes you sometimes. I just kind of um, follow my gut with the way I'm drawing. Because sometimes I might draw things more square. Sometimes I might draw things more round. Like I will go and the bubbles to try and like make a character, you know? And then everything is just kind of bubbly. But then another time I'll be like, yo, let me just make it square. It just depends on how I feel in that moment. Because I can't even say in the day, because my drawings change in by the moment sometimes as I'm going. I don't know if that's the ADHD brain, but I don't know what shapes to choose sometimes. I just kind of go with the flow. And I do know that I want to make some design elements bigger um, because I also want to make it simpler for myself. If I were to make something smaller, that would just be in just a little bit more detail. But if I make them big, Just give myself less work. And I'm trying to make it easier for myself, not harder. And one thing I try to tell myself too is that at the end of the day, as much as I am a comic fan or a anime manga fan, that it's all cartooning. Like a lot of people don't think about that. Like a lot of people think or they don't realize how influenced some of these Japanese artists are by Western art. A lot of them are influenced by Disney. A lot of them are influenced by Warner Brothers. And they just carry it in a different way. Yeah, a lot of them are, and they just have their own. A lot of them are inspired by it, and they have their own little twist on it. Um, they put their own spin on it, and it just we're all amazed by everything they do over that side. But we can't forget, like at the end of the day, like I see Hiroyuki Imiyashi did something, and I was like, this brother watched Dexter's Laboratory. I know him watch Dexter's Laboratory. Just the way him to do something, if not Dexter's Laboratory, that style of cartoon he's watched and enjoyed. Because I can see the way that he does certain things. Um, so sometimes we look at these people like, yo, I want to draw like them, but really they're trying to draw simple. So that's a good question. Oh, that's Game of Thrones. That's Game of Thrones. Yeah, it's bit. And if I had to go silly, like what's the silly one? It would be Kill la Kill because I love how engraved the world is with the textile and they're all talking about jackets. They're all some of the guns are like a sewing machine gun. You know what I mean? Like they stick with that niche throughout that show, and I think that's really cool. But then when it comes on to characters and history and just lore, yeah, that's Game of Thrones for me for sure. All right, no biggie. How can I make these gauntlets look cowboy-ish? All right, it has. I like this look a design element he has on Poncho. And then maybe a rune at the bottom. Oh, right here. Here we go. Just a look a rune because we need the magic. He needs the runes to be able to activate whatever his power set is. I don't know what his power set is. But you see, you draw out these characters, you draw out these ideas, and you keep it vague right now, but you can go in after and he can decide what kind of character he really is. And he can change, he can evolve. He doesn't have to stay like this at all. Um, it can go somewhere completely different. Um, yeah, because that's what this is. I guess that's what this is kind of about. It's really like getting out that concept. That's the most important part. I'm just putting a bunch of belts wrapped around. If I were to like do another pass, which I don't have time to, if I were to do another pass, I'd probably put bullets on this and all these straps wrapped around them. I'm giving the impression, but you really wouldn't know that these are bullets automatically. I'd really have to go back in and probably use smaller lines. As you can see, I'm even using like a pencil brush. Um, look at is it this? Where? Oh, yo, sorry about that. Thanks for telling me. Oh, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Let's go back to the board. Yeah, the ads. Sorry, I can't. I'm in the US. It's hard to get away from the ads. It's inevitable. Doesn't really even. Why complicated? Why complicated? You know those shoes that have the well, they have this little thing spinning thing on it. I'm not gonna do it because my brush is too big right now to give that it's worth the detail. But I always wonder like what is that spinny thing on the back of the cowboy boot? Oh yeah? Well, big up for knowing it. It's the way it's to kick the horse? That's what you said? Well, yeah, yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. Respect. Why am I even drawing that? It's behind the effects.
It's called a spur, by the way.
Oh yeah, respect. Respect. Not with the facts. A spur?
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting. Why do you guys know so much about horses and cowboys? And why don't I? And I'm decided to draw cowboys today. Why did I do that? Thinking about cowboys. I really was trying to go for something different though, like something that I don't normally draw and something that I don't normally like. We don't have much um, influence from that in the fantasy world. What we do, Star Wars is like the only thing that Arm needs to move up. Star Wars is the only thing really that has like that Western. Yo, I knew that. I was just, I was just joshing you. Just joshing you. But that makes sense. Now that you said that, that actually. Um, I realize this arm, I have it completely different. I need to like pay attention to what I have going on the other side. Of like this thing here. It doesn't have to be the same rune. It could be a different rune on the side, on the other arm. Respect, respect, Daniel, for the compliment. Um, Maybe a little bit of the puncher in the back and just shade it. It's right there. There it is again. Puncher in the back. Ooh. How much time do I have left? Need to get the color. Alright, that's beautiful. We're good on time. We are good on time. Yeah. All right. Respect, Sam. I appreciate that. We cannot forget the magic. Cool. That looks cool, man. Okay. These little sparkles, that's just more magic, really. And I have a little design thing. I don't know where I learned it from. But like when you're doing anything with patterns, you always think about it like if I'm gonna do something like with dots, and I'm not talking about like a perfect polka dot pattern, but if I want to just makeshift it, I have to like think about it like triangles. Like everyone has to be a triangle. That's how I use the placement. It has to make a triangle. And that way you don't like get things looking too together, and then now you start seeing different shapes and stuff within your pattern that you never intended. If you keep it with triangles, it'll just save you a lot of headache. So that's kind of the same principle I use for these stars. Like think about placing like a triangle. Oh, what a lot of artists will say: draw a lot, keep drawing, draw what you're interested in. Oh, the question. You can repeat the question again? Do I have any advice for aspiring designers at the beginning of their journey? And my advice is to draw as much as you can, as much as your life allows. We get better the more we do something. And look at who's your favorite designer. Like look at their work, analyze their work. Um, you're not trying to copy or anything, but you're trying to understand. You know, if you have trouble drawing hands, how does your favorite artist draw hands? Look at it. Look how he conquered that. How does he draw feet? Look how he conquered that. So practice drawing your favorite artist drawings, but mix it up with a couple different artists. Mix it up with you taking. You might want to take a pose of someone in real life. You maybe take a picture of yourself for reference, and then you take an artist that you like, and you say, "I'm going to draw me in that artist style." Little things like that will make your brain making new connections. You might find you like different things about art. There's little things that stay with you. Not everything stays with you, but what's important to you stays with you. So practice. Uh, find an artist that you like, and draw this and study their work. Okay, where our lines are closed. Oh, just kidding. Make sure your lines are closed, and then we get to coloring. Um, boom, bam, beautiful. Let's just do everything on one layer, not too worry about. Now, I don't have much advice for color. I realize a lot of people ask me about color, but I've somehow worked my way into instinct when it comes to how I choose my color. Uh, and it's just something that I can't, it's hard for me to word to somebody why I make certain decisions. But usually it starts off with knowing I want to use one particular color, and then I just kind of go from there and try to keep the harmony. 10 minutes, that's just enough time to color this. Just enough time. Maybe not neatly, but we'll get the idea out. Thank you. Actually, you know what? Let's make what's coming from the ground. Just, nope, that's not what I wanted. So you see, I don't really think too much when I'm going for the color. You know? I just know the this, and I just decide that I want to make sure they're different tones. Like if you gray it out, it's not gonna be the same because I've made sure that when I'm pairing it with another thing, that I use a different level of darkness or light. That's cool. Right. Alpha lock, so I can color the lines. Whoa, I did not like that. Oh, it's because of this. Look at too close. Okay, gold. Gold star power. Cool. I don't really have to stay within this color, so I just kind of move it over to red. I know it's right next to each other. It's going to work. And if it doesn't, which I don't know, I don't like that actually. I don't. So, I don't like that either. I have to be making these decisions, but change it up. Whatever, we'll just go with this for now. We gotta move on. Add a little bit. Break up that flat shape. Yeah, this one already went dark, so I'm going to. Oh, okay. Okay. If you guys would like, anyone out there, if you, there's a link to the Discord, and you can join up on the Discord. You can even join in here and talk to me and ask me a few questions. I probably should have told you from before if you didn't know that you are welcome to join me, and if you don't mind being recorded. Yeah, just doing this fast. How much time is left? 5 minutes left. All right, let's do some with. I'm going to do some mute colors for him, since seeing that he's has all this other color around him. We'll fix up those tiny little mistakes soon. Let's just go. Normally, if I was using a regular inking brush, I could just close these lines. But because I'm using a pencil brush, it's not gonna fully close. Like it's not gonna feather And I guess maybe it's my fault. I don't understand the feathering in Procreate that good. But I just color it in like this when I'm using this brush. But if I was using an inking brush, I would literally just magic wand and other color. Just keep it muted on this guy. I don't know if I like that, but I'll go with it for now. Makes sense. Mm, no, I know what I'll do. Use a light purple. Then use the purple from that stuff on here. All of these things I might change in like if I were to do a final version. I mean this is it's looking good, but if there's anything that I'm unhappy with, I am not opposed to changing something. If I feel like the colors like aren't working, they're too close, I just might have to, you know? So whatever magic is on is gone. 2 minutes. Okay. Um, mhm. Right. I wonder if anybody else is out there drawing. Yeah, I'd really love to see what you came up with. That's a good one, David. Yeah, don't marry your first boss. Don't do it. No. Since for the sake of time, even though I did this with the pencil brush, we just said there's a little shadow right there. Just show the rim. What color is his skin? I don't know. Let's go back to purple. And let's find a grayish purple. And maybe that's the color of his skin. Um, Really, I would have wanted to color all of these runes and kind of put those highlights around them again and have them glowing. If I had the time, I'd even do a little blur and have them glowing on the poncho. All of that niceties. But we are running out of time, so we'll just finish it right here. At least we got the idea out. At least we did something better than nothing. Um, And you just do this for all those other thumbnails. If you wanted, like you could come like Vox Empire for me was literally a page of drawings that I turned into 12 different characters. So if you want to check out more of my work, you can follow me on Instagram at HotsoupHotsoup. You'll probably see this drawing finished and whatever other drawings, like if you want, just follow for some more. That is that really. Nothing else to it. We'll have something cool at least. Is there any last comments about this drawing? The arm is a little bit short, so don't bother me about that. But that is something that could get fixed later on. But yeah, is there any queries? If not, that is fine. Just make his eyes red because why not? He's a bad guy. Or he's a bounty hunter. He has a little bounty hunter look. Yeah. But it's cool. We took runes, we put the runes on the clothes, we have the runes on, we have gauntlets. Now this came from a cowboy. This was a cowboy. No, look at this. Yeah. We're in there. Yeah. I mean, maybe I might try harmonize all these different energies that he's using, like maybe, those little stuff like keep everything more purple for the most part. Whatever works. But I did draw another one. Because I was drawing cowboys earlier. I'm not gonna go around like I didn't try to draw some cowboys to figure out what I was going to do. But this was one that came out, and this was dope. This came out pretty good. But yeah, that's all. Thanks for joining us. Again, check out HotsoupHotsoup on Instagram. Big up everybody.